Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening. My name is Muhammad Sufian Hadi. I'm 25 years old, and I just graduated in degree in software engineering from Sultan Idris Education University, Tanjung Malim, Perak. And right now, currently I'm working at Singapore as a manager in training for a restaurant called Mace, which is a Swiss restaurant. Okay, alright. For the first question, how much does your living cost there? I think living cost there is high, so currently I'm just working at there, and I'm staying in Johor because at there in Singapore, everything is very high living cost, high, and mostly they are very expensive. Okay, for the second question, does economic development help to increase the cost of living? Yeah, I think the economic development help to increase the cost of living, because the more the economic develop, the more economic develop, there will be more job for the people. Okay, for the third question, how is economic growth in Singapore? I think economy grow greatly in Singapore because of the dollar currency, which is really high in the world, and there will be a lot of outsider country, which is like Swiss, Korea, and Japan, who would like to melabur in Singapore. Okay, for the fourth question, does a dense population make economic progress? I didn't really understand what is the dense population is about, but I think the high population in a country, the more economy can be made and built. Okay, next, for the role of culture section, what are the cultural differences in Malaysia and Singapore? I think the most that we can see is there's about in Singapore is about law cultural, because everyone need to follow the law, and yeah, everything's using the cameras, CCTV, and they didn't use human force too many. What are the challenges in adapting to the culture in Singapore? The challenges is quite different. I think the challenges is all about the law, because they didn't use much on the police. They are using technology, For example, the ERP. ERP is like toll in Malaysia. We are just passing the road and the ERP will take money from us. So for the next challenge is, I think, about the road law. The traffic light law is slightly different with Malaysia. Okay, for the next question, the third question, do you feel comfortable with the culture in Singapore? Yeah, at first I didn't feel much comfortable because it is just slightly different with Malaysia, but yeah, days by days I adapt with the culture and yeah, I feel comfortable. So for the fourth question is, what is the interesting culture in Singapore? I think the interesting culture in Singapore is about their cleanliness. They are very take cleanliness very high lah. Which mean I think even the toilet feel like a house. Yeah. When it comes to culture in Singapore, what do you think about that? Okay, I think the culture make us to be a good human being, and yeah, it's good for us. It's just if it's can be a bit loose, yeah, for sure. I sure that it will be more comfortable. What is negative culture in Singapore? I think the negative one is about communication, because some people cannot speak their communication language, which is English, and sometimes like an Indian or China, or yeah, because I just can only speak with Malaysia and some people who can speak English, and if some people cannot speak by, and if they just speak with their language, we just Hindi or Mandarin, it's hard to communicate with them. So for the eighth question, what is positive culture in Singapore? I think the most positive one is about respecting people. They tend to respect everyone without judging who are you, when you are Malaysian or you are not a Singaporean. Yeah, they are quite polite and friendly. So for the legal and political issues, for the first one, what is the level of legal control in Singapore? I think the level of legal control in Singapore is really high. For example, for the working, every set got different pass, and so for example, the SPM one, we got working permit. For the diploma, we got S pass, and for the degree, we got employment pass, which is for the skillful worker. And for the other example, I think it's about, what is it? I think uh, mostly is about the road law. The road law is very strict. So for the next question is, how is the political system in Singapore? Okay, based on my observation is, the political is of Singapore takes the form of parliamentary representative democratic republic, whereby the president of Singapore is the head of state and prime minister head of government and of a multi-party system. The cabinet has the general direction and control of the government and is accountable to parliament. So for the international HRM is arbitration phase and compensation package. For the number one, what is the work culture in your organization, which is my organization? So my work culture follow the Swiss culture. So everyone need to polite with the customer and need to entertain the customer, which mean for example, the chef will do the open kitchen, so they will strictly interact with the customer. And for the uniform also, they follow the Swiss culture, which is the Swiss culture one. So for the second question, can you accept the work culture that yeah, I can accept the work culture there because it's not very different with Malaysia, which is it's just that everyone there is very nice, and yeah, everyone interact with customer, interact with each other, yeah, like that. Alright, number 3 is, what benefit are received in your organization? Okay, I think I got a lot of benefit, which is my OT. My salary is highly paid, and my OT also paid with high pay. So the next benefit I think is about my working day, which is only 5 days per week, and I need to work only 44 hours per week, which is roughly 9 hours per day, including 1 hour break. And the next benefit which I got is I can work in shift, which means someday I can have a free day in morning, and someday I can have free day in the night. So the other benefits which my organization offered is, the first one is meal allowance, laundry allowance, split shift allowance, off in lieu for working on a public holiday. I think they will pay me triple. Transport also provided. So the next question is, how are the benefit for the employee receive? The benefit received, I think, is about monthly, and yeah, yearly I will get bonus in the 13 months, which means I think it's around 2 months salary. So for the fifth question is, are you an outsider? Do you eligible for benefit in your organization? Yeah, I eligible for the benefit because they standardize the benefit and everyone receive the same benefit fairly. Okay, for the sixth, how your payroll process works. So my payroll is just like the same in like Malaysia, but I think the salary will go at third or seventh in the next month, and everything will be credit in the Singapore bank.